Hello, thank you for joining us in this service. God bless you. Welcome. This is Voice of Destiny, and I'm so happy and so excited to have you in this service. I hope this service will bless your life and refresh your soul. Stay tuned with us, and God bless you. My name is MJ Success. Fulfill your destiny.
So, with a clapping and standing ovation, let's make welcome. I call her Dr. Maureen Udeze. Let's welcome her as she takes us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Praise God. Praise God. Okay, you guys can sit. I am really excited to be in your midst. You know, whenever I get such opportunity and such privilege to bless the people of God, it's a thing of honor for me. You know, it's a thing of honor for me. So I am really happy to be in your midst. MJ, I really want to salute what you're doing. You know, you guys don't really understand. You know what it takes to be building something like this? The tenacity, the commitment to purpose, especially when it looks like it's not blossoming. Sometimes you make all the noise and you see 4 people, you make all the noise and you're expecting to see 100 and you see like 2 people and you just do it. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And that is why I always try to make out my time whenever MJ calls me. Well done. Well done, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jerry, you dash me this your shoe when I'm going. It's so good to see you guys. How are we doing today? Are we really excited to be here? This one is not yes for... How many of you have been in my space before? You've heard me teach? You've heard me teach? Oh, okay. Just half of you, really. Okay. So that means a fresh introduction is in order, right? So like you already know, my name is Maureen Udeze. I am a wife to a good man and a mother to 2 sons. MJ is wishing another one. Let's rest more for now, you know. And I'm a management consultant and a workplace productivity coach. But beyond all of that, I also have this deep-seated desire to see young people get it well. And so that's part of the reason I'm here today. So how many of us are really excited? Okay, so we are talking about, what are we talking about today? Relationship and destiny. Relationship and destiny. Are you really excited about this topic? Like, are you excited about this topic? Yes, ma'am. So what are you excited about? Okay. MJ, you see your people. It's the relationship they're interested about or excited about. Okay, I get it. I get it. However, I want to call the theme for today's meeting destiny and relationship. You know, switching the two makes all the difference. Switching the two makes all the difference because destiny comes before relationship. I know that as young people, a lot of us like to hear about relationship. Hey, relationship. Today, we are talking relationship. But permit me to just turn it upside down. Destiny and relationship. Because destiny comes first. And I am sorry I may disappoint a lot of you today because it may not be what you're expecting to hear. It may not go the route you're expecting. It may not go the route you're expecting. Okay, so let's start with a question. What is destiny? Do we have pens and notepads here? I'm only seeing one person with a pen and a notepad. Where's your notepad and your pen? your phone, it's fine. But you have something you're planning to write with. See, with me, it's a master class. I'm not a typical preacher. That one is MJ. MJ will do all that one. And me, I'm not all of that. With me is a master class. So get ready to do a lot of writing. Just get ready. So someone tell me, and it's going to be conversational. Someone tell me, what is destiny? Or what do you understand? Feel free. Don't be, if you want to speak Igbo. Do we have Igbo people here? Yes. If you want to speak Igbo, so Wadiro. Okay? And if you want to speak Yoruba, we have interpreter now. Do we have Yoruba people here? Yeah. So anyone, Kosi, Wahala. So anyone, you just feel free and tell me, what is destiny? What do you understand destiny to be? If your people are not ready to respond, though, you bring chair. Me, I'll kukuma sit down. You know why I'm asking this question? Because I have found out that some words may sound cliche, but it's just ambiguous, that people don't really get the essence of the concept. People don't really understand the concept. So you see people say, destiny. Man of destiny. I am a person of destiny. I need a destiny helper. MJ used destiny like many times this evening while I was seated here listening. He used destiny many times. I even heard you use it when you were also talking. So you should be able to tell me what destiny is. Okay. Is there a spare mic? Destiny is what? A belief of the future. A belief of the future. Okay. Okay. Destiny is a belief of the future. Okay. Destiny is your God-given purpose. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Any more? Yeah. Destiny is tomorrow. They've even answered you already. Tomorrow is Monday, and Monday is not destiny. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I love the answers I've gotten so far. So she said a belief of the future. A belief of the future. And you said destiny is Monday. Okay. I think so far I will go with your definition, because that's the closest to what destiny is. And the extent to which you understand the concept is the extent to which you can maximize it. And one of the proof of how much people understand something is the simplicity with which they explain it. I remember those days in secondary school or in school, in the university, when they say, can someone define what is, someone give me a term, any term. Any term they use in school. Pollution, okay. So let's say someone define pollution. The people that have not studied it, they don't really know it. That's when you hear. So pollution can be technically defined as the atmosphere of the... They don't know it. They've not understood it. But those people that have studied pollution, they have taken time to study pollution. You tell them to define pollution, and you hear a single sentence. I have seen it play out severally in the course of my work. So I know that when people really understand something, they can define it in a simple way that even a layman on the streets will pick it and work. So please, let's put our hands together for him. Destiny is simply the fulfillment of your God's given purpose. You may want to write this down. Destiny is the fulfillment of your God-given purpose. Destiny is not a what will happen in the future or what God have kept to happen in the future. It's not destiny. I know that some people have maintained that narrative for some while, but it's not an empowering definition because it makes it look as though destiny is not your responsibility. If you put it on God, like God has done it now, it should be God's business, right? If you see destiny as somewhere you have been destined to end, it shouldn't be your business, really. Whatever you do, whether you do or you don't do, that's where you end. That's not destiny. That can be any other thing. That can be fate. That's not destiny. Destiny requires your commitment. It requires your own effort. It requires your input. It's not about God. I know this is going to challenge what a lot of us already know. That's why I said, how many of us are even enjoying this class already? That's why I said I may disappoint some of you who have come to hear something that will sweet your ears. Because this is where it all starts from. We need to understand this concept so that whatever thing we are saying, destiny, you are looking for destiny helper, destiny relationship, you don't know what destiny is. How can you be looking for destiny helper? What is the person helping really? Destiny is the fulfillment of your God's given purpose. So that means there is a purpose to your life. That means there is a purpose to your life. There was an intention. Okay, even purpose, like I'm not a fan of big words. I'm not a fan of ambiguous words. Purpose simply means use. If I say, what's the purpose of this pen? What does it translate to? What's the use of this pen? What is this pen meant to be used for? So when I say, what's your purpose? It simply means, what are you meant to be used for? You were supposed to be used for something. There is something you're supposed to be used for, to be doing. That's purpose. There's something you're supposed to be used for. So if I should ask the question now, how many of us are living a life of purpose? And what that means is, how many of us are being used or are doing what God created us to do? You are sure you are doing what God created you to do? Can I see your hands up? So we can't be talking relationship, MJ. No, seriously. Because destiny and relationship, we are talking destiny first. And of course, we are talking destiny relationship, right? The destiny will come before the relationship. So if you're not figuring out destiny, if you're not on the path of fulfilling destiny, then we can't be talking relationship. But it's fine, I understand. Most of us are young people. So do you want to know your purpose? Do you want to know your purpose? Are you scared? You know, sometimes some of these things sound really big and spiritual. My purpose. My purpose. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, trust me. Do you want to know your purpose? Okay. Let me tell you how to know your purpose. Okay? How do we do this now? Okay, so let's look at this watch. By the way, this is my husband's watch. So let's look at this watch. If you look at this watch, the purpose of anything, the purpose of any product, the purpose of any product can be found in the formation of the product. You may want to write this down. The purpose of any product can be found in the formation of the product. So, let's say the people that manufactured this watch, you know, some things have become so common that we don't know that it's a creation of man. We now know wristwatch. Everybody knows wristwatch. You know, God did not create wristwatch. Are we aware? God did not create wristwatch. Maybe it's possible 100 years ago, I don't know, but it's possible there was no wristwatch then. Some people or someone sat down and had an idea that was implemented that became wristwatch. Now the question I want to ask you, what did that person have in mind? The person that manufactured a wristwatch, what do you think the person had in mind? Sorry? To make money. To make one conscious of time. Okay? To bring the understanding of time. You are now sounding like class prefect. Okay, to bring the, it's fine. Okay, let me hear you. Okay. To solve a problem. Okay, fine. That's a great attempt altogether. Yeah, to solve a problem. But of course, we are narrowing what the problem is. Of course, there should be a wall clock before there's a wristwatch. So the person, the brain behind this wristwatch, wanted you to be able to know what time it is when you are on the move. Can you think about it like that? Yes. The person that manufactured this wristwatch wanted you to know what the time is. Please, I want you to stay with me. I'm going somewhere with all of this. And if you miss it here, you may not get it. The person that created this wristwatch, he knew there was a problem. Okay, there was the wall clock. So once you look at the wall clock and know that it's 10 o'clock, and you leave the house, of course, you can't carry the wall clock around. The wall clock. You can't carry it around. So maybe if you leave your house and you are in the bus or you are going somewhere, you can't know what the time is anymore. So the person thought, how can I make it something that will tell time, that people can wear it around, that people can carry it around, and it can also allow them to do things. I'm just giving you the summary. That's how a wristwatch was manufactured for the very first time. And now, when you look at the formation of the wristwatch, you will see that the person that manufactured it intended that it will be portable. That explains why it is small, right? Something that can sit on your wrist, a place where people can easily look at it and continue what they are doing. It couldn't have been a head watch because it won't be easy for people to look at their head. It couldn't have been a leg watch. The easiest place for people to look at the time and continue what they are doing is a wrist. That's why the person thought, okay, let's do a time, something that tells time that can be worn on the wrist. So everything about the wristwatch was formed to enhance it being worn on the wrist and telling time while you're on the move. That necessitated why they needed to put a lock, because it needs to be able to sit on your wrist and you'll be able to move around. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? So what that tells you is that when you look at a product, you can tell the purpose of the product from looking at the formation. Is that the water for me? I don't want cold water. Okay, please, let them get another water. Okay, but all this, okay, let's use a knife as well. Let's use a knife. When you look at a knife, are you guys with me? When you look at a knife, you see how the knife is. If you get a small child, to hold a knife, of course not a baby now, maybe a child, without even thinking, the child would hold the knife in that place that is meant to be held by the hand. Have you thought about it? The child will not hold it in that sharp part, because the person that was manufacturing the knife intended that this knife will be used to cut. So because it will be used to cut, this knife should have a part that will be safe for the human hand to hold on to. Then the other part will be sharp to cut into something. I'm just telling you, these little nuances is what makes the difference for you to understand the purpose of your life. The same thing applies to any product you can think of. Any product. You can look at the product. So the intention of the manufacturer. The intention of the manufacturer is what defines the use of the product. It's not what you're using it to do. If you look at this chair, for example, the manufacturer intended that it will be sat on. That's why it has 4 legs and it's balanced. Even if it has 3 legs or 2 legs, it should be balanced. It should have a backrest. You see the formation. It wasn't meant to be stood on. It wasn't meant for climbing, basically. But can this chair be climbed on? Now, let's say, do you know that it's possible that maybe, okay, there's something they normally hang here. Like you guys hang this thing here from time to time. And for some reason, you are always here. You're always using this place. So you just decide, okay, let's just keep this chair here. Let's just be using it to climb. And it has turned to a ladder. Is this chair serving a purpose? Yes. Is that the purpose of the manufacturer? So is this chair living destiny? That's the hard one now. This is the one you need to think before you answer. Why is Jerry looking around? You want to figure it out. Okay, I can say it again. If you are using this chair to climb and hang this thing perpetually, is this chair serving a purpose? Is this chair fulfilling destiny? Why is it not fulfilling destiny? Thank you very much.
Because that's not his purpose.
I like this class, so this is how I like my class. Like, I don't need paparazzi. I just want you to really get what God wants me to tell you. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, just leave it here. Okay, good. So let me repeat the question again. If this chair is being used to climb here, is it serving a purpose? Do you know that it's possible they now start hiring this chair for climbing? Maybe because it's been dedicated to climbing, so they are now hiring it. It's even generating more money than the one you're using to sit down. So it's generating money. Is it successful? Yes. But is it fulfilling destiny? No. Because once you are not being used for the purpose, this chair can never serve as a ladder as much as it will serve as something they use to sit down. That's the problem with our generation. Because we have a lot of chairs being used as a ladder. And that chair is successful. Now let me give you another example before I go deeper. I used to have this stereo. A stereo they call it, right? There's this small speaker. I use it to listen to audio books and things like that. Just small, portable. The speaker is fantastic. So for a long while, I've been using it. I use it to listen to MP3s and audio messages. But at some particular day, I was just feeling with the thing. And I saw that there was a small, what's that, like antenna. That's what they call it. That thing they put in radio. I now saw, this is an antenna. And I've been using this stereo for a long while. I've not even noticed this because I've never thought of it. All it does, it serves me is listen to MP3s. So, and I brought it out. I'm like, for this thing to have antenna, that means this is a radio. It also has radio. So I now looked at it. I can't see where, the typical radio buttons. I can't see a typical radio button on it. So I'm like, this thing should be a radio. For the fact that it has that antenna that you can draw up and draw out. So I went to look for the pack. It's been a long time. I don't know where I dropped the pack. I went to look for the pack. I found it. I opened it. I saw the manual in the pack. And I went through the manual. Lo and behold, my stereo that I used to listen to only audiobooks for a long time could also serve as a radio. And then the manual said that play button, there's a button for play. So if you press the button 2 times and hold it down, it will turn to radio feature and all of that. And I did that. And I started hearing this typical radio. And I'm like, wow. Now, where am I going with this story? What made me think of this thing? What made me see that this thing can serve as a radio as well is the fact that I saw an antenna. So, see, I want you to get this. If the manufacturer of this product ensures that everything this product needs to function properly is embedded in the product, is someone following me? Yes. If the manufacturer of a product, all the manufacturers of products in China, in Silicon Valley, everywhere they are, if as the person is manufacturing this pure water, the person knows what he wants this pure water to do. So this thing cannot be a gallon. Because the person is not intending something you would drink with your family members. If the person is thinking of small water on the go, something you can just drink twice or once, depending on how thirsty you are. So the person has intended that this should be portable, it should be small. The person has also factored it in the mouth, because 90% of the time, people will drink this water like this. People will not bother pouring it into a glass. So the manufacturer factored all of this in the formation of this bottled water. Now, if human beings that are evil takes their time to factor in everything this product will need to serve its purpose, do you now think that the highest entrepreneur we have, I hope you know that God is a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. Are you aware? Do you now think that the highest businessman we have will create a product, which is you, and not equip it in a way that will make it function? So I brought good news for you today. We are still talking about how to know your purpose, right? Your purpose can be found in your formation. When you look at yourself and study yourself and look at your passion and look at the things you are naturally given to, there lies your purpose. Just the way I could look at that stereo, and I know that this stereo, see, the person that manufactured that stereo, apart from also being a radio, the other, because he wants me to listen to MP3, he know that I may need to put a flash, so he provided a hole for putting flash, for slotting card, memory card, and all those things. That is for that product to serve its purpose. That's how God created you. For you to serve your purpose, He has given everything you will need inside of you, factory fitted. The things that people need to live their purpose is in them, factory fitted. Okay, so I know this will surprise a lot of you, right? It's too good to be true. The place of your calling, the place of your purpose, you don't go to school for it. You don't learn it in school. However, you can get education in some way for it. You can get trainings on how to brush the skill to be able to serve the current generation you live in, to be able to serve the 21st century audience. You may need to brush the skill, but that ability is innate. The problem is that we have a lot of fishes whose mentor is a monkey. And that fish is dissatisfied with his life because his mentor, he's looking up to a monkey who is climbing the tree. And he's wondering, why can't, oh God, when he's now praying, Father, I need a leg. Give me leg. You know, do some of this, leg. But that fish does not need a leg to fulfill his own destiny, his own purpose. He doesn't need a leg. He is fine, factory fitted. If only his mentors were some sea animals, some bigger sea animals, maybe he would do fine. And that's why you have a bird that is so worried that he cannot swim. If only this bird understood that he doesn't need water, he can be successful. And let me tell you, the people that are really outstanding in our world are living their purpose. That's why you hear, when you see people say certain things that, is Jeff Bezos praying, is this person praying, when you are functioning in the place of your purpose, you need little prayer. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, this is another session altogether. But just take it like this. Because in the place of your use, you are already pleasing God. In the place of your use, you are already pleasing God. You know, some of us over-spiritualize everything. Yes. We think pleasing God is about church, is about is about living your purpose. It's about doing what he created you to be doing. That is why you may be surprised that someone like Elon Musk will make heaven before you. But he wasn't a typical prayer warrior. But he was a creator. He was a God. That is what a God is. When the Bible says, ye are gods, do you know what it meant? What is the intrinsic capacity of a God? A God is a creator. What does God do? God created. That's a God. Anybody that is a God is your ability to create. So when you come to this earth that we live in, and you see people that have created things that God did not create. When God finished the foundation of creation, he left the remaining parts to men. Yes. But you are not creating anything. You are not charting a course because you have already been infiltrated by what is happening around. You're already infiltrated by. So when you tell some young people, so look inside of you and tell, what is that natural ability? What is that passion God deposited in you? You now begin to hear things like music, like I really like to sing. You don't like to sing anything. It's not true. That one is not your purpose. It's just because you have listened to too much of Davido and too much of Wizkid. And you have seen how much flamboyance and everything that surrounds them. Paul said, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. It's true. Yes. If you put your mind to anything, you can actually learn it. But that's not your place of purpose. That you are doing something and getting successful, maybe because that's the one that is reigning now, there is money in it now. That doesn't mean that you are living a life of destiny. That doesn't mean you're living a life of destiny. So when you see some young people today, you say, "What do you want? What do you say?" I think I have the gift of comedy. I like to make people laugh. 30 years ago, that person would not be proud to say he has the gift of comedy. It was people. God did not create comedy industry. I hope you know. It was human beings that formed and packaged the ability to make people laugh. Some 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. People that could make people laugh were seen as low lives in the society. They were just clowns, jesters. They weren't paid anything. When they finish the event, they collect crumbs. But it's human beings that packaged that ability. It was not God. God did not create a comedy industry. And all of a sudden, the ability to make people laugh has become something that people exchange good money for. It has become attractive. So that woman whose child is always making people laugh, she's no longer worried. All of a sudden, you say, "Hey, my son, this is why you'll be a comedian." Because comedy has become something that pays. Before then, this woman would have been beating that child. Maybe the child goes to school. He's not interested in maths. He's not interested in physics. He just likes to make jests. He just likes to see. Oh my goodness. I don't know where to start and stop anymore. We have a lot to discuss, but it's fine. Our parents. Do we have any parents here? Any parents? You have given birth? Okay, no. Our parents are supposed to be our first destiny helper. Our parents were supposed to be our first destiny helper. They were supposed to be the people God gave the responsibility of nurturing you when you were small. That time a child was still small. That's when it is easier to get the child's real calling. When the child has not been polluted with what gives money. As the child keeps growing, what gives money becomes his drive of what he thinks his passion is. That's when you see some young people now, they say, there was one video I saw online, say, "The boy, what do you want to be when you grow up?" The boy say, "I want to be in Big Brother Niger." Can you blame the poor boy? When the winner of Big Brother Niger is receiving accolades all over the country. When governors are saluting the winner of Big Brother Niger. That's how much our society, that's what we celebrate as a people. And the kind of things we celebrate multiplies. So that's why a young person is now aiming to be in Big Brother Niger house. Imagine the society begins to celebrate, maybe just the way they celebrate people in Big Brother Niger house. They now say the people that come out with first class in Unilag, they will treat them like that. What's the name of this last one now that won? Is it Fina or what? It's Fina, right? They will treat them like that. Deck them up, buy them latest cars, give them house in Banana Island, give them the people that get first class, or the people that invent softwares in Nigeria. Do you not think our young men will start thinking in that direction? So people just naturally, go to the direction of where they feel the money is. That's part of the challenge why a lot of us are not living our purpose. However, those that really live their purpose, you don't match them. Because in the place of your calling, divine grace, divine anointing has been allotted. It's not about prayer. That is why a prayerful fish cannot match a bird in flying, even if that bird is not praying. I want you to write this down. I can say that again. That is why a prayerful fish cannot match a bird in flying, even if the bird does not pray. Can someone open Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10? Let's also do a little of scripture before we continue. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. What version is that, please? King James. Can I get it from an NLT? NLT. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. If you get it, please help us read. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Sorry? NIV. Okay, fine.
Verse 10, right?
Yes, Ephesians 2, verse 10.
For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God has before ordained that we should walk in them.
Take it again.
For we are his workmanship,
Okay.
created in Christ Jesus
Okay.
unto good works,
Okay.
which God has before ordained that we should walk in him.
Praise God. For we are his workmanship. We are his product. Created unto good work. Which what? Did what? Has before ordained that you should walk in. That means that you are a product created by God, which he had in mind that you will be used for something. That's just the simple interpretation to it. Someone get Romans 8:28. Romans 8:28. I want us to establish the point that you were actually created for something. Not for anything. Not for anything you stumble on. The course you read in the university. No. It is not, you were not created for the course you read in the university. Okay? Is someone there?
And we
Romans 8:28. Okay.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God,
Okay.
to them who are the God according to his purpose.
That statement, that promise, was it referring to everybody? It was referring to a specific group of people. Who are those people? People who love God. And what?
And God according to his purpose.
Some of us are not limited to people that love God. It did not stop there. That's destiny. That's destiny. So when you say, so typically when you say, my destiny helper locates me, what are you saying? With this understanding now, when you say, my destiny helper locates me, what are you saying? What are you asking for? My purpose helper. Okay? A mentor. That's if it's the right mentor. Okay, so I think MJ puts it as simple as, funny enough, as simple as I like putting things. The person that will help me be used properly. That's actually what you're asking for. But you're already in engineering. And you're praying for engineering helper. This person should help me get job in what's the popular engineering firm in Nigeria? Any engineering firm? Julius Berger, okay. So you are now praying, God, my destiny helper. Let the person get me a job in Julius Berger. That one is not your destiny helper. That's why I want us to get what destiny is in perspective. That's where acting our miss can come in. Because you're asking for the thing, and that's not even what God wants you to be doing. He doesn't want you to be asking of this thing. He's saying this, oh my God, this bed. Why not ask me to strengthen your wings? Why are you asking me to give you leg? It's that deep. God is on his throne, wondering, ask me. Can somebody open your eyes so that you begin to ask me to straighten your wing? When you begin to ask me to straighten your wing, you don't need to do night vigil. The answer will begin to flow because grace has been already, there is a special anointing that was mapped out for you in the area of your calling. Okay, fine. Let me allow her. Okay, you can sit. Of course, you don't need to be confused. I get you. Sit, okay? You don't need to be confused. We are saying the same thing. What I remember saying that you can get an education, but that the desire for that thing, it does not come from school. You have learned teaching because you went to, what's that school for teaching now? College of Education, or maybe that's where you landed, and you have now become a teacher. Even though it's possible you are not really called as a teacher. Imagine if our parents that are supposed to be our destiny helper, for example, someone like me, I studied geology and mining in school. Imagine if my mom puts me in communication or international relations, courses like that. I will not, of course I did well in geology, but I was just there. Really, I was just there. But imagine how excellently I would have been doing if I was studying communication. Because those are the kind of things that I am naturally gifted in. So I did not say you won't go to school. The ability to speak, right when I was small, I used to have this natural ability to want to explain something. I'm that kind of person, that kind of student then that, you are not saying that I'm big words. How can I explain? You're not saying something. I'm that person that wants to research why that thing is that thing. That's a gift. That's a gift. There are people that are supposed to be philosophers, but our generation is lacking philosophers because the parents did not guide them in the path of philosophy. Those are the students that would have been great in class without struggle because they are in the place of their calling. So even as a speaker, I love to speak. You see what I'm doing here? I don't mind. Even if you guys are just three here, I'll speak with the same passion. Like I'm speaking to CEOs. If I'm speaking to a room full of CEOs, I'll speak with the same commitment with which I'm speaking to three. So imagine a parent that is beating that little girl, that 7-year-old girl, that is now saying, Mommy, if you put lipstick, as little as she is, the girl knows that, Mommy, this lipstick did not match this your eyeshadow. And the over-spiritual mother is there saying, this girl, you will not put me in trouble. How will a small girl like you already know that the red lipstick did not match this clothes? Because we are over-spiritualizing the thing. What if this girl is a genuine when it comes to fashion? When it comes to colors? Because some of us have not even known how some of these giftings can be turned into a money-making venture. Every gift God gave you was supposed to serve you. It was supposed to make you money. Literally what it means, because money is our means of exchange in this current world we live in. Before, there was a time money was not the means of exchange. Right? Yes. Let's say this my gift is speaking, and I need to buy yam. I'll come and speak and they'll give me yam. You're exchanging with something with a value. It's not money. But money has been made to make it general, so it will be easy to exchange. So so imagine that child that has been gifted. That child that has been gifted with ability to match colors. As a little child, she knows that this green does not go with this blue. And imagine if that child ends up as what are some careers that require color? That require strong arts. Oh my goodness. Do you know that there are people that create artworks that cost millions? Those ones, they are not people that are forcing themselves into art. There are people that were created to do arts. There are some interior designers that because they are gifted in interior designing, they create designs that are out of this world. Something you can never think of. You come into the room and they give it a different shape. That's when you see, wow. So a purple table can actually come out fine like this. You can never think of it because that's not your place of gifting. What if that child that is gifted with a special ability to combine colors ends up as a graphic designer? There are some graphic designs that you see and you know that the person that created this one is a god. They are the people that manufacture designs and then ordinary people now work with it. And they give you as Canva and all of that as Photoshop. They are the people that manufacture it because they have a special gifting when it comes to colors, playing with colors. But the parent did not know where to shift this child. He didn't know the direction to shift that child. When it comes to communicating, if my mother, for example, or my parents had put me in some school that has to do with communication, I would have been fired. Because when it comes to things like that, as in, I'm just excited. Let's talk. Come, let us understand this. There was a time I think in secondary school, they used to call me, I don't know, there was a name they used to call me then, but it has to do with always trying to search out something. For some other people, it's boring. I hope you know. Some people cannot read a newspaper to save their life. I hope you know. And guess what? Those people that cannot read a page of newspaper to save their life, they don't need reading. That's the bad part of it. No, I'm telling you, that's for you to know how good this God is. How he intended for this life to be easy. This life was supposed to be easy if everybody were functioning in their place of gifting. If everybody were living a life of destiny. This life was supposed to be easy. That is why when you want to build a house, assuming it was the perfect world God had in mind, and you construct a site engineer, you engage a site engineer, you go and sleep. Because the site engineer is a gifted site engineer. But what you have these days is somebody that is gifted in singing, doing site engineering. And the person is just struggling and messing things up because that's not their place. What you also have is someone that is gifted in taking care of children. Do you know that there are people that have special ability with children? The person is not getting tired. The baby is poo-pooing and doing and scattering things, and the person is happily cleaning the poo-poos, these things are gifts. These things are things that come with people naturally. That person was supposed to be rich, taking care of children. Because there is a special grace that accompanies people when they are operating in destiny, when they are fulfilling destiny. So that person that is gifted in taking care of children, she now come, maybe in the place she grew or the place she grew up in, there is no good crèche, or the crèche is there and not making money, and the parents is already telling him, You are a man, oh, you have to help our life, oh. These children you are taking care of cannot really help our life, oh. That person ends up thinking that, sometimes, like when I wake up in the night, I like to sing. I think I'm gifted in singing. Because the person is calculating the financial equivalence or, the ability for that thing to fetch money. So imagine if that nurse, imagine when that nurse that is truly gifted in nursing now studies nurse. There is still a place for nursing. Of course, there is knowledge. Knowledge applies to everything. You can actually be a gifted nurse. Then there are still things you will still need to do as a gifted nurse to also, blossom in terms of having real money. As a gifted nurse, I'm just giving this as an example. It will not remove you from going to study about money and money mastering and investments. It will not remove you from understanding how business works. It will not remove you from doing that because there is a special discipline involved in that. But that ability, that person will be a distinct nurse. That person will be a distinct nurse. She can't help it because the thing is in her. When people are doing the things that God created them to do, they excel better. However, people can as well not be doing what God created them to do, and they will still be doing well. They will still be successful. They will still be making money, but they are not fulfilling destiny. Okay, let me hear you. I would have actually loved to finish what I'm saying before we take questions. Okay. 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 Funny enough, answering these questions like this, it will affect my flow, But all the same, I will answer you. That's where everything comes together. See, how long do you want to continue in the wrong path? If you are going to Oshodi, maybe Oshodi is this way, and then you are going to Agor like this, and then you realize that this road is not leading to Oshodi. It's this one that is leading to Agor. Is there a way you can continue in this road before you now finally burst out to Oshodi? Sometimes you may require to stop and turn back and start going to Oshodi. The earlier the better. Some other time, you may have to continue on that Agor road. Then you now burst out to Sele. Then the Sele, you now come out and then start going to Oshodi. You did not need to go back entirely and take the Oshodi routes. I don't know if you get this analysis I'm making. Sometimes, even the wrong direction you are already in can be a good platform for you to now get on the right path. I didn't need to, I'm still using myself as an example so you can understand. I didn't need to go back to school entirely. I already have a good foundation as a good geology student. I already had a working experience with the oil and gas and some other companies I worked in. So all those things were still education in some form. They still gave me a platform to now start, but they were not entirely a waste. They were not entirely a waste. So some of the experiences you already have, it's not entirely a waste. When you wake up and decide to pursue purpose, those experiences can provide a platform for you. You have made some money already from this one that you are doing. That money will now provide a platform for you to start doing the one God wants you to do. But it's not a waste. Did I make sense? So it depends on the routes. It depends on, the important thing is, just like I said already, how will I put it now? If you understand what that gift is, do you think that once everybody that was gifted with a good voice, it must be singing? Must it be singing? It is the society that have limited you to attach a good voice to only singing. There are many other things that you can create with a good voice, but the underlying gift is a good voice. It manifests in different forms. Just like I told you already, that having a powerful gift in the area of colors combination. You mustn't just be a fashion designer, right? You mustn't just be a fashion consultant. The person can be a graphics person. The person can be bringing up manufacturing, maybe softwares or something, or manufacturing artworks. Those are still some careers that the gift you need for it is that ability to combine colors. There are some people, even as a child, that's why I said our parents are our first destiny helpers. Even as a child, the parents can just be like, you see this child, but the person is over neat. The baby is eating and one small food will drop here. You see the baby, you want to remove it. The baby is always says, check everything. Or maybe when they are growing up in the house, there is this particular child in your house, as a parent, for example. Once pillow drop on the floor, you see him. He wants to carry the pillow and keep where it's supposed to be. When the flower bend like this, he don't bother sharing the work. Once he comes to arranging the house, he wants to keep the flower well. He wants to keep everything well. That pessimistic, inborn passion, sorry, did I say pessimistic? What do they call it now? Like people that want to make things perfect. What do they call it? Sorry? Perfectionist. That perfectionist trait in that child is meant to be used for something. It wasn't there for nothing. God kept it there intentionally. That child was supposed to manifest with that. You see, that trait is not easy. You think it's easy to be a perfectionist? That want to arrange everything. Everything should be arranged. Everything should be kept well. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But if that child ventures into a career path that requires that perfectionism, the child will be doing well. Because what he's doing, he's passionate about it. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying it. Okay. So we read Romans 8:28, where he said all things work together, not for everybody, for good to them that love God and to those that are living their purpose, to those that are being used for what God intended. So we can talk about relationship a little now. Who is excited about relationship? The excitement have reduced now, Abby. Oh, sister, I should round up. The chairman said we should round up now. Okay, but let me just give you a little. So maybe next time, okay, I should come back before this month runs out. By God's grace. Thank you. I am earnestly committed to see that you understand this thing. Even if we had to take the whole of today to talk about just destiny, it's fine. So that when we talk about relationship, because we are not just talking about relationship, we are talking about destiny relationship, how the relationship affects destiny, how the relationship was supposed to help you fulfill destiny, how the relationship was supposed to help you fulfill destiny. So let's just say I'm going to leave us with what we've discussed today. I want us to think about it prayerfully, maybe later when you get home. I want you to think about it and look at your life. In what ways am I using my God's given gifts? In what way am I being used for what God intended? Remember that I have already told you that if someone has a good voice, it doesn't necessarily mean he's singing. What it means is that the career path that person is taking has to do with using voice. That person will succeed better than somebody who is learning to have a good voice. I hope you know that people can learn to have a good voice. You can learn it. But that person that is giving it naturally, that person that has the traits naturally, will succeed better. So when we have all of that figured out, by the special grace of God, the next time I come, we now talk about how it has to do with your relationships. You now talk about the kind of relationships you need, how to manage your relationship with your parents, the kind of mentors you need, so that you will not be the fish that has a monkey as a mentor. Abi? So that you won't be the fish that has a monkey as a mentor. So that you won't be the beans that is marrying an egg. Beans and egg, does it go together perfectly? So we will now narrow it down as well to our love relationship, to our marriage relationship, so that you understand how this plays out when it comes to your love relationship. Have you been blessed today?
Thank you for staying with us for this service. I hope you were so blessed. I hope the message blessed your life. If you give your life to Christ, or if you have any testimony to share with us, please send a message to this number displaying on your screen, and they will stay in touch with you. This is Voice of Destiny. So fulfill your destiny. See you.